Hi, thanks for being with us today. My name is Sean Pushor. I'm with Navigation Realty. Today I'm with Kathleen Hampton, the Director of Development for the Northwest region of Florida, of Make-A-Wish Central and Northern Florida, and also my neighbor. How are you today, Kath?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being here. So, you work for Make-A-Wish, and I think most people know what Make-A-Wish is, or at least we have a very good idea of what it is, but maybe you could go into a little bit more detail of exactly what your organization does.
Okay. Make-A-Wish is an organization, a nonprofit that provides opportunities for children and family who are going through life-changing experiences to experience joy, happiness, and make family memories. With experiences, it could be a child's hobby or a passion for cooking or painting, or want to sing in front of an audience, or they just want to go on a family trip, a place they've never experienced before, a place that they couldn't afford. And we do this when a child's been diagnosed with a critical illness. It changes their whole life, turns it upside down. And we want them to not have to think about that, to bring the family back together and give them strength to keep fighting this illness.
Give them a little break from a tough situation.
Exactly.
What do you think most people love about that Make-A-Wish Foundation?
I think most everyone inherently wants to help other human beings. It makes them feel good. It makes the person that they're lifting up and helping feel better. And it makes them feel like they're not in it alone, that they have a community surrounding them and supporting them in a way that most people are very personal and private about what's going on in their lives, but when they know that someone's reaching out to them to support them, it gives them a feeling of home and a feeling of support that they hadn't been feeling, especially for these kids that have been in hospitals for weeks, months, sometimes in and out of the hospital for years to come, especially children that are diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah. What do you think most people don't know about Make-A-Wish?
That's a good question, Sean. We have made our mission to talk to the public about the fact that these children have been diagnosed with a life-changing, life-threatening illness, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are terminal diagnosis. And so a number of people still think that this is a wish for a child that's dying, and that is not the case. Most of the kids who receive a wish and are granted their wish to come true live on to have happier, healthier lives because of the wish and what the wish has given them, which is the motivation to keep going on and to keep receiving treatment and know that they can build a future. So we give them hope again.
I think that's a misconception that I've had too.
Yes.
Why did you decide to work for them?
I've always loved giving back. I've worked for nonprofits for over 22 years, and I find that when you are at your worst time in your life, you need others to support you. And sometimes it's services, local services, and support that most people can't afford. So nonprofits really take the worry out of a situation. And the people that work for a nonprofit are very caring, selfless, and they will do whatever it takes to help that individual or family.
What was it like when you first started there?
It was overwhelming. I had a hard time keeping my emotions in perspective, but you have to understand that these children don't want, and families, your pity or to feel sorry for them. What they want is to be able to feel they're supported and lifted up by the community supporting them. And that's really what I keep focusing on, is why I'm doing it, how it's helping, and to try and find where I know that I'm giving them and helping them with telling their stories, to keep the momentum going and to keep asking for support so that we can grant more wishes, because I see the results and the impact of a wish.
Tell me about a memorable experience you've had there.
Let's see. I remember meeting one child who had her memory probably 5 or 6 years ago, and she was born with heart issues and had gone through an incredibly rough time. She actually still is receiving treatment. But when I met her, she just seemed like every other child, innocent, full of wonder, full of possibilities, and her parents are amazing people. So, you know, I received so much myself from knowing that these are real wish heroes. They've survived an unimaginable experience that none of us should have to experience. And we have become friends. I also talked to the mother, and she is so committed and so passionate that I recruited her to be a member of our advisory board for the Northwest region. And she's hit the ground running, and she's telling her story, and it's incredibly impactful.
Wow. What has surprised you while working there?
Well, that's a good question. What surprised me is, not too surprising, but the amount of people out there that are willing to support Make-A-Wish and a child and family in some way, whatever that may be. If they feel that they don't have the financial means, they'll find somebody or a friend that they can introduce me to that can help in some capacity. Or with a lot of these wishes, we need to pull our local resources with vendors and businesses and individuals that provide a service or product toward that wish. You know, if a child wants to have a backyard oasis with all, you know, the beautiful things that are relaxing and flowers and a hammock, or maybe they want an above ground pool, or maybe they want a room makeover because they spend so much time in their bedroom. I look for organizations, businesses, and individuals that can provide that, and they end up donating their service or reducing the cost of the service because they want to help.
What do you like most about being a leader in this organization?
That after 22 years, I have joined an organization that lets me use the experience that I've gained from 22 years in nonprofit to spread the word, to establish a presence in all 18 counties of the Florida Panhandle, to be able to make new friends. That's the way I look at it. When I'm sitting down with someone like you and meeting them for the first time, who may or may not be interested in helping in some capacity, I feel like I'm making a new friend. I'm telling and sharing a story that they had never heard before. And to change their public perception if they do perceive that this is a child's last wish. And to be able to do that and touch so many people and meet so many wonderful wish heroes is really meaningful to my life.
Do you have any advice to give to aspiring leaders?
Don't lose sight of your passion and your reason for what you're doing every day. And it can be discouraged sometimes when people say, no, I can't help you, but no just means no right now. Keep going, keep asking, keep sharing your stories, and eventually things will start to happen in your organization. And that's what I've seen happen in the last year and a half since I started with Make-A-Wish. It takes time to establish relationships and build trust. And it's something that you continually need to be looking for opportunities, and that's what I've found is working well. I'm very much a believer that relationships happen organically. They develop into something that could be long lasting, and I want to be true and transparent with why I'm doing what I'm doing. And when you show that you are being true to your mission and your organization's mission, people, they feel that passion and energy and they want to be part of it.
Mm-hmm. Do you have any business idols or role models?
Well, without getting political, I am a big supporter of Michelle Obama and her attitude about all that she's dealt with and experienced, and she hasn't lost sight of who she is, and as far as a wife, a mother, first lady, former first lady, and I want to be that for my daughter and for my granddaughter. So those are the type of strong, empowering women that I really look up to and learn from.
What do you think the future holds for your organization?
A lot, I hope. I truly hope that we can grant more wishes. And I feel like we are making progress, and it's happening fairly quickly. And there, unfortunately, are many kids that are diagnosed every day with critical illnesses. And we need to be the bright star, the motivation for the kids to keep going and fighting their illness.
Mm-hmm.
And we've been that for children and families since 1980 with the First Wish. And we're worldwide, so that's got to say something by the evidence of what we've done. And also doctors are saying, and families, that they see a significant progress and change in the child's receiving treatment after their wish. It gives them the energy and the motivation to keep
a nice boost.
Working. Yeah, a boost that they needed when they need it the most. These kids and families have gone through an incredible time in their lives that no one should have to go through. But I'm glad that I'm part of an organization that helps them forget about what they've gone through for a little while and experience joy and hope again.
Let's change the subject a little bit and talk about living in Tallahassee. What are your favorite things to do here in Tallahassee?
Well, I've lived in Tallahassee for over 34 years, and my favorite things to do are walk around the neighborhoods, especially the neighborhood where I live. I like to hike. I like to be outside whenever I can. I love working in my garden. I love doing things with my husband. I like kayaking. Anything that's outdoors. Even when it's very hot and 100-degree weather. I like to be outside in the morning, but not later in the day. But there's so much to do. We're so close to the waterways and the Gulf. It's a big city, but it's really small town flavor and culture.
Can you recommend some of your favorite places to go?
I love Winthrop Park and Piney Z for kayaking, Wakulla Springs for kayaking, and St. George because of the beaches and the restaurant there on the sands. And I love, when I can go into the woods and hike with my husband. So those are some of my favorite places.
I was going to say, Piney Z has some good hiking too.
Yes, they do.
Why do you think it's important for people to shop local?
I think that the community needs to always think about supporting one another, and that means businesses. Businesses have a real struggle every day to sustain their business, but it's also important to our local economy. I'm a member of the Tallahassee Chamber of Commerce, and I'm a proponent of businesses, especially locally owned and operated.
If you had to pick one thing, what do you love most about Tallahassee?
The small town flavor. You could go into public shopping center and run into someone you know and stand there and talk to them and catch up. Everyone really is courteous. I come from Washington, D.C., where people are always in a hurry. Traffic is unbearable. And I like the small town slow flavor where people really care about each other and support one another.
That's quite a change.
A very, yeah, big change.
Yeah. Well, Kathleen, thank you for sitting down with me today and telling us about Make-A-Wish and about your part in it.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thank you for watching. If you have any suggestions for who you'd like to see interviewed next, please comment below.